This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. Today in the arena, Jeskai Mutate returns, flexing the power and muscle of Vadrok, Apex of Thunder. I've put this video up at least twice, I think, when a new set has come out, like the last two sets. Definitely since Ikoria. I've been playing Jeskai Mutate here and there, so some of you have seen this shell before, but I always keep it in the back of my mind because I think it's a really good deck, really fun to play, and I think it got quite the upgrade. And the upgrade is See the Truth. See the Truth lets you look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of those cards into your hand, the rest on the bottom of the library in any order. If this spell was cast from anywhere other than your hand, put them into your hand instead. So, it's a bad sorcery speed Anticipate. But if you cast it from your graveyard or from exile or from somewhere other than, you know, the typical from your hand way, it's just a draw 3, which is pretty awesome. And I've seen a lot of decks trying to use this with Dreadhorde Arcanist. I've seen a lot of decks trying to use this with Chandra, various Chandras that exile cards. The 3, 4, and 5 mana Chandras right now do that. And I've seen people trying to use Light Up the Stage to play this card. But to me, most of those, it doesn't really fit that strategy. Like, you have to build an aggressive deck that also wants to draw. So this deck that I'm playing, Jeskai Mutate, is very flexible. It has a lot of different mid-range lines, which I absolutely love about it, and a lot of interaction. And it also has Vadrok, the Apex. So when you Vadrok, that can cast a See the Truth for free. And that's your 3 cards. You also have one Finale of Promise, which we'll get to in a second, that can also cast See the Truth from the graveyard. So, the core of the deck is that we have Callous Dismissal and Lazotep Plating. Lazotep Plating and Callous Dismissal both amass 1 to give you a token, and we also have 1 copy of the Raise the Alarm for a last bit of redundancy there. And then we mutate onto that Lord Drakus and Vadrok, Apex of Thunder. These 2 mutate creatures are really the backbone of things because Lord Drakus returns a cheap instant or sorcery to your hand, and Vadrok casts any non-creature spell from the graveyard at cost 3 or less, which is really exciting because you can do just a lot of nutty things. And then once we have the ability to basically get back spells, play them over and over, we just want to make sure that we have the right spell at the right time. Teferi Time Raveler is actually not just something we shoved in the deck. It is amazingly good in this deck because a lot of our spells are sorceries, which makes them a lot less flexible. Callous Dismissal, See the Truth, Finale of Promise are 3 sorceries that the problem with them is the opponent sees them coming from a mile away. But if you can play them at instant speed with Teferi, we end up +1ing on Teferi a lot because if the opponent can't react when you cast a Lazotep Plating as well, all your stuff just has hexproof and there's nothing they can do. And then we can See the Truth at instant speed. We can bounce whatever we want to and amass at instant speed, making combat a nightmare. And we can cast Finale of Promise. So the one-of package. Oh yeah, we've got some other cheap spells just to have things to get back, like Opt and Shock. But the one-of package in the deck is what I like the most. We have 1 Narset, which makes all of our one-ofs a little more redundant because it helps find them, and we can keep recasting it with Vadrok, and it keeps the opponent from drawing, so it's a key part of the prison element of the deck. But you don't want too many, because the deck has a lot of dirtle in it, and you need stuff on the board and interacting with the board regularly, so you don't die. 1 Light of Hope hits enchantments, gains life. Every now and then, the +1/+1 counter on a creature is relevant, but getting to cast this a few times and blow up Elspeth Conquers Death or Annex, or just gain life so you don't get burned out is really important. Blitz of the Thunder Raptor. We end up with a graveyard full of instants and sorceries. This thing scales up to tagging things like Nissa, who shakes the world, and even Ugin, the Spirit Dragon, and exiling them. Dovin's Veto. We can get into a position where we are using Vadrok and Lord Drakus mutated to get back a Dovin's Veto every turn and keep the opponent from doing cool stuff. Heliod's Intervention, blow up all the ovens, blow up all the Lucky Clovers, or gain a ton of life. Blow up the Embercleave and the Annex that was carrying it. And the Finale of Promise it exiles the spells you cast with Finale, but it doesn't exile Finale itself. So if you have a graveyard with a ton of spells, and you have a Lord Drakus, you can keep returning the Finale of Promise and casting it and just exiling 2 different spells, but then get the Finale again next turn and just drown your opponent in value. It is not absurd to cast this for 10 or more, which copies each of the spells twice. It's kind of good. I've introduced all the cards in the deck a little carefully because this is a different deck. I don't see anybody else playing this deck. Maybe they're out there. I don't have the time to watch all the content creators like I used to, but this one always feels a little bit like a CGB special to me. And I hope you agree. If you've seen other people play this deck, you're welcome to leave me a link in the comments. That's totally cool. I don't mind. But I definitely have been tweaking this whenever I have a little bit of spare time on my own, and I love this build, and I hope you will too. This has been a slightly longer intro. I'm going to finish it up quickly with another reminder. If you have subscribed to my channel with Twitch Prime, it's a good time to renew. It's the middle of the month. I try to remind people in 3 or 4 videos because it really supports the channel a lot. If you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you get a free Twitch Prime subscription. The only thing is it only lasts 30 days and you have to renew it yourself. Every time you renew it, it contributes some money to the channel. So that's something that you can do for free with a few minutes of your time. If you have an Amazon Prime account in your household, that really helps me. So, reminder to all those cool kids with their Twitch Prime subs, now's a good time to renew. So, let's dive in. Let the Jeskai mutate nonsense begin. All right. Bounce it, I guess. What's with the basics, though? There we go. There we go. The deck heard my cry. Okay. Awkward opening for the opponent. And for us with 2 Vadroks, I wonder if we're just going to play one on turn 3. Start attacking in the air with a 3/3 flying first strike. I guess we will see. What are you, Bant? Teferi. Yeah. Gain a little hexproof. Get a little 1/1.
Oh, I've done
Shock off the top. So, tag. Put a little pressure on the opponent. Play the Vadrok. Make them do something about that. I think that Callous Dismissal on Teferi, I mean, there might be a time and place for that, but I'm hoping here it's just a bounce, and then I can attack Teferi with my 1/1 or shock it. Okay, they must have a way to deal with the 1/1, or that play looks pretty bad. They just cast a Fail Wishes. Okay. I mean, I'm okay with that. Let's see the truth and hit an untapped land, okay? This is a very risky play. Because if we miss... But every land is untapped. Every single land. Alright, I just need any land. Every land is untapped, he said. Unsub. Bounce. If you want to take a turn casting Granted, that will be fun for everybody involved. Get the Teferi off the board. We have a Callous Dismissal, a See the Truth we can cast from the graveyard if we mutate this. So there's a fresh 3 cards awaiting. So if the opponent takes their turn to Granted, I'll be very happy. Instead, it's Uro. Boringest card ever invented. Like they're having a competition. Cat Oven or Uro? What's more boring? Like, as in just does the same garbage every frickin' game, every frickin' turn of every frickin' game, right? I don't know. Whiny CGB. But some people agree with me. If you agree with me, let me know. See the truth. Boom. Did it. Do I make shock available? What would I shock? I could just shock the opponent. Yeah. Well, I've got a handful of nonsense. Opponent has an Elspeth Conquers Death though. I bet they feel great about themselves. That's okay. Our plan is just to make them pick up absolutely everything. I will bounce it again. I will draw 3 cards again when I get around to it. Ooh. Okay. It's interesting. But we definitely bounce this because we can't afford the chapter to go off that makes all of our stuff cost more. That's just, it's a bad beat. I'll take it. We do need to keep moving our deck forward. Need some counter. We need the Dovin's Veto stuff. Yep, go get a thing. It's probably an Ugin. Oh, that Ugin? You can do better. Do better, opponent. That's lame. Alright. Another shock? Unnecessary. A little excessive. There's a Narset, that's pretty good. But the opponent has an Elspeth Conquers Death, so it won't stick. But it is what it is. So they put this card into their hand. Next turn, I do this. I hit for 4. So I guess we shock this as well. I need my own Teferi so I can bounce my own Vadrok when the time is right. But here we go. We'll take the over. We'll get back to See the Truth. Draw 3. There's my Teferi. Ooh, Dovin's Veto. And we revealed it? No, we didn't. So we get to counter at least an Elspeth Conquers Death. Hopefully that's good enough. Because if we make it to where we find a Lord Drakus, we can start getting back the Veto every turn. Nissa? No. Can't have that. Maybe I should have let it resolve, but I think it's just too much power. I think I'd rather give this up. Now we need to find our Light of Hope so that we can start getting rid of those. And Lord Drakus, of course, would be nice.
If you wish to surrender, keep an open mind.
Plating would have been really good a turn ago. I guess I can do Teferi, bounce your ECD, and then I have plating to protect my planeswalkers. Oops. Now you can't touch this. And if you had an Ugin, you can't play it. Alright, you go in for the 1/4. How are we going to do it? Can target this and try to exile it. The opponent can discard 2 cards to get it back. There's the Light of Hope. Destroy target enchantment. Work it out, baby. One way or another, we work it out. Do I care about you? What I really want to hit with this is the Uro, but I have Finale to do it. Finale right now can be See the Truth and what? We plussed a Teferi, so we can Finale at instant speed. This is interesting. I guess we do it on the opponent's upkeep, if we're going to use the Blitz. We can also bounce the Narset, but I think we can wait on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We want to make them use mana in their turn cycle, not in ours. I think that's worth more than 1 damage, for those of you wondering why the upkeep. Shatter and another Uro. Alright, so in response we can kill it if we have a way. But we don't. Alright, so be it. Now that's in the graveyard so we can Finale it. if we want to. I think the opponent's probably going to bring out an Uro, even though it will run into the Narset. We'll see. Alright, so we've got a veto we can use. That's pretty good. Let's do that. Letting the opponent fetch something here could be disastrous. There's a veto. There's a See the Truth. Another 3 cards, looking good. Unfortunately, we had to exile the veto, so recurring the veto over and over isn't going to work, but we can recur the finale over and over, which is pretty solid. Opponent's going to do Sad Uro, I think. Sad Uro is Uro who doesn't draw a card. And we can callously dismiss that meanie. That nasty, nasty Uro card. And yep, pass. My turn, go away. Another See the Truth, lovely. But we don't have a Vadrok to play it for free, but we can put the finale into our hand. Oh yeah. Let's see what we find with this See the Truth. There's a Vadrok. Everything coming together. I wish we had one more untapped land, but this will do. Let's hold up the finale because we can use it to get back See the Truth and Lazotep plating if the opponent tries to target any of our things. Oh yeah. This is pretty good. Shatter the Sky. We can bounce the Drakus. What do we give up from that? I guess the ability to counter anything our opponent tries to do. We could just let the Drakus go. We can always amass again. I think this is fine. We have a lot more Drakus in the deck. We really just want to protect these. Okay, end step. Let's use... Hold on. First, let's use Opt. See what we see. Raise the Alarm isn't bad. We can get a See the Truth. I think we just wait, though, on the finale, since we don't have a way to get it back immediately. So let's play Raise the Alarm. And let's use Callous Dismissal on the Narset and reload it. There's a Drakus.
No, I am not making this up as
Make sure we replay the Narset. I want to keep those Uros in check.
So many mysteries to uncover. I have just
There's See the Truth. 23 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I want enough mana to Lazotep plating for sure. We have another See the Truth in the graveyard. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want red, red, white. Over here. Over. And the card we want for free? The one that draws 3. See the Truth. Wow. Ballin'. We'll play the untapped land. I'll just shock. Like, having access to the right colors is actually kind of a thing. So as long as we have access to plating, I think we're doing whatever we can on our opponent's turn, but we can play this at instant speed, so there's no reason to do it now. Teferi definitely doing work. Another Shatter the Sky. Okay. Shatter the Sky. Best of 1, of course. Very important card there. We can get back a Raise the Alarm. Raise the Alarm and another draw 3. Yeah, We can take a turn off from the pressure, I think. Actually, with multiple platings, we can play one now. And that will put pressure back on the opponent all on its own.
Don't worry, I got this.
So what do we want back? What do we actually want back? What will mess with them? I guess just more and more platings, right? They can't Wrath forever, but I'll just grab the Raise the Alarm. That'll keep pressure on them. I'll take the shock. We're almost to the point of burning them out. 16 cards in the deck, 9 life. Can I burn them out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I can if there's a shock in the graveyard. Yeah. All right. Don't miss lethal. Nice. Nice. Complete dismantling of Bant Ramp. Yes. A little slow, but we've got Teferi, we got the plating, we've got the Apex, we've got the right mana. We are Jeskai. I don't think I'm going to hexproof myself, but maybe I should have. What if they just had Agonizing Remorse? Yeah, I've got to be more willing to take damage from my mana. Ooze. Ooze is here.
Sorry I'm late. This might be a bad idea.
So we've got Opt, we've got Plating, we've got the Vadrok. Plating gives us the Amass creature to mutate onto, but we don't have anything to really mutate into just yet. Okay. Opponent going hard against Teferi here. No. Against me. Bold. Blitz. Blitz is definitely a card where we want to get some spells into the graveyard so we can use it. This has hexproof on my opponent's turn. Giving my permanents hexproof next turn might be really useful though. Let's see what we can hit with the Opt right now. See the truth. It's good with the Vadrok, but where are we going to get the time to play it? How are we going to get the time to play it? It is another spell in the graveyard too, so we could blitz next turn. Alright, so we'll do this. We will say go. We will probably see the truth. We might use plating, if we have a good reason. Our opponent might have an ambush here. Domri's ambush. Or Questing Beast. Rip. That's another good reason not to attack the Teferi, by the way. I think we're just dead here. The Blitz won't get charged up fast enough, and we need it. The plating won't do any good. Raise the Alarm, I suppose. More blockers, but not really, because it can't stop the beast.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
This is our worst nightmare. A deck that's on the board just too fast for our cards to matter. Alright, so here's what we want to do. We want to use Raise the Alarm and Blitz of the Thunder Raptor to remove the Spellbreaker. The next turn we want to Vadrok onto one of these tokens. If the opponent has Embercleave, I think we just lose, but we never really had a shot here, if that's the case. But yeah, when we Vadrok onto a token, we can bring back Blitz onto a beast as long as we play a plating first. Down to 6. Oh, Scooz is so nasty, though, if the opponent plays it. They don't. And we draw Callous Dismissal? That's kind of perfect. They're giving us a chance. We have to tap right, though. It takes double red to use Vadrok, which is easy to forget. Whenever you target a spell... Oh. Crap. Okay. So Teferi would have been perfect here. Hold on. We gotta rethink all of this. We can Vadrok, but it wouldn't be a 4/4. I think the plan is still the same. I think we have to do... God, this hurts. We're gonna have to find like Light of Hope or something. Over. So it's a 4/4 first striker. Cast Blitz of the Thunder Raptor. Exile the Questing Beast. Swing with these, and we've got a blocker if a Questing Beast comes down. But we're at 3 life. The Teferi can bounce Terror if they replay it. And they might replay it. Seeing we're at 3 life means we can't target the Terror, so they might think that's the jam. We still have Light of Hope we can draw into. We have Lazotep Plating for burn spells. The Scavenging Ooze is a huge problem. It keeps us from using our graveyard. I think the opponent topped that. That's very scary. Extremely scary. They have a Stonecoil Serpent? Nothing else would be holding priority here but full control mode. Alright, Teferi, do the work. Finale. That's a playable card as long as they don't ooze me. They might also have a haste creature. Any good size haste creature will beat me. So I shouldn't attack with the Vadrok, but I really want to because I need to close this game. I guess if they have a haste creature that isn't Gruul Spellbreaker, I can use Finale to get back Blitz. I have to play that aggressive, I think. I lose to Gruul Spellbreaker. That's just the way it is. I'm actually going to 1 here. If they target me, I can Plating. Alright, Terror. Sure. I can't Blitz. They go for the Druid, so we need to go for the Plating. I don't have one in the graveyard. So, that's what we have to do this now. The opponent target themselves or their own Terror. Which, their own Terror makes the most sense. And we can't target Terror of the Peaks anymore, so how are we going to deal? I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. We need to draw Light of Hope to gain life. Or, like, we have Finale for See the Truth. We can also Finale for the Plating, which can protect us for another turn. They killed their own Druid with the Terror. Right? Terror of the Peaks deals damage to any target. Yeah, they could have done the damage to their own Terror of the Peaks. I guess they haven't run into that before.
I've got it.
I can't let this thing attack me and kill me. But would it block? I have no way to block it, so I can't attack with this. I can attack with these, though. We do need to get the job done. Somehow, some way. Come on, Finale. Carry me. Carry me, buddy. Alright, instant is Plating. Sorcery is See the Frickin' Truth. Hexproof again. 3 cards. One of them see the truth. Teferi? Teferi can bounce the Terror of the Peaks. Are we gonna find lethal? Can we do it? Terror targets itself this time. The opponent can gain some life by exiling some creatures from graveyards. This has first strike. You do not want to attack. Alright, see the truth. Heliod's Intervention can gain so much life. Oh my goodness! Not quite dead. The opponent kept an upkeep stop, but Teferi's on the board. They can't shock me. They give me the land. Oh, the slow roll. I should definitely... I should try to get lethal, right? I mean, they can pump this and gain some life, but what if I draw a way to remove it? I guess I still can't kill them. I can definitely bounce the Terror of the Peaks, though.
Let's try this. I can no longer stand by and watch.
Go away.
Trust me, I have a plan.
It's a shock. How many creatures? One creature? This is potentially lethal. If they block here... Oh man. It's so close. It's so close. If I shock the use, they can respond by making it bigger by eating a Paradise Druid, but there's no creature in my graveyard. They're effectively at 9. They need to block this creature. What you got? How you doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. That's game. One creature. Shock you. Oh my god, what a game. Oh. Thank you, RNGesus, for this victory. Teferi really carried it, by the way. Like, there were a lot of times where I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have been able to win if I didn't have Teferi on the board to keep them from responding to my actions. It's a hand. It should be able to manage a lot of different looks from my opponents, but we don't have a way yet to make a creature for Vadrok to mutate onto. Opponent with some sleeves. What the heck? Is that City of Brass? Somebody will tell me in comments what this is. I have no freaking idea. City of Gold, man. Oh, okay. And obviously you are in fact made of gold. Just slamming those John Avon lands. I think we just shock this. Although maybe they play like Scavenging Ooze, I'd rather shock that to Fairy Bounce the token. So if that's the case, we play this tap to say go and time our shock well. That's all there is to it. See the truth, we'll have to wait. Stone Coil. Okay, that's shocked. Fairy can't do nothing about that. Veto. Veto probably not going to be looking nice here.
I'm known for my excellent fight. I've got time.
Now we need to hope the opponent doesn't find another 1/1 for their Lovestruck Beast anytime soon. Plating. Plating makes the 1/1 for the Vadrok.
No, I am not making this up as I
So
go.
we want to see the truth. Actually, I don't have like any white symbols, and I already have 2 on the field. Let's play this one. So at instant speed, we want to see the truth and use Lazatep plating. Hopefully they target something, but it's pretty unlikely. We might end up using a veto. I don't know. Maybe they go for a Vivian. What could it be? Hello. I feel lucky. I feel lucky. Alright, see the truth. Shock keeps the 1/1s at bay, so we'll grab it. And now we do have to wait another turn to use the Vadrok Lazatep plating, but that's okay with me. Getting to use that veto felt pretty great. And they go in for a Questing Beast. I guess we're on double shock. Get it out of here, please. Too strong. And plate. And Vadrok will take the over here. And we'll take a See the Truth for the reload. Ooh, not the greatest. And I think I hold this back to block a Questing Beast. It also just, the opponent might think twice about attacking with a Lovestruck Beast. If there's a first striker and untapped mana in a deck that does things like bring back shocks. I don't know. It is a Questing Beast. Come at me, bro. I have first strike. Oh man. Oh, I don't know if they know. If they've never read a Questing Beast, maybe they've never read a Vadrok. Dude, come on. Questing Beast has more text than this card. You have no excuse. You have none. We're gonna have to draw a white source, but since the hand is great otherwise, I'm going to gamble with it. I don't want to shock whatever they play on 1. I'd rather dismiss it if they play something on 1, so that I can get straight to doing Lord Drakus shenanigans. Grazer? Do I want to dismiss a Grazer? Sure, I guess. We do want to get straight to our shenanigans. Far from ideal. Uh-oh. It's a toucher of cards. Lord have mercy. No!
You show remorse. I'll show this.
Well, that was no fun. I guess I'll take a moment to resolve my Teferi Time Raveler.
This isn't a fight. This might be.
They might play counter magic. We can shock this Teferi next turn, but we're going to have to draw another Amaze card. The toucher of things. Can do it too. I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm doing it too. Oh my gosh, comments, get angry. I'm doing it too. Get angry, comments. Okay, awkward turn from the opponent. This has to mutate. It does. It's pretty lame. Let's try drawing a card.
Oh, I've done the hero thing.
That is quite the flood. Let's try a cycle. So, our opponent has an awkward turn. We respond with a very awkward turn of our own, but now we do have a Lazatep plating. Let's hope the opponent misses the land, because I'm sure Nissa and Elspeth Conquers Death have something to say to me. Back up to Fairy. Makes sense.
Sorry I'm late.
Unfortunately, that makes Lazatep plating a lot worse. Oh, get out of my graveyard. Get the... Makes me so angry. I'm gonna shock that now. I'm gonna shock the frickin' Teferi, man. Play your Grazer. Come on, coward. Don't you want a blocker? Don't you want a blocker? Oh my gosh, make sure you touch all my land first. Pro gamer. A pro gamer located. Alright. So we want to go plating and we want to put the Lord Drakus on it and get something back. And we could get a shock and just get rid of this Teferi. which I think we need to do because we need future platings to defend us. And we can't until Teferi is off the board.
Don't worry, I got this.
We don't have enough red though, do we? Oh, we do. We're fine.
I really should have seen that coming.
The opponent might ECD the Lord Drakis, then we're in a terrible spot. But they might also ECD the Teferi. Make sure you look through my entire graveyard. They have no idea what I'm doing, that's why. They've never seen a deck that's not a net deck before. It's okay, I understand. We're all going through this right now. As we learn about MTG Arena. Yep. Good. They went for the Teferi. They do have their own Teferi to get back, so we need to find like Light of Hope with this. Another Teferi? It's not great. Could be worse.
I can no longer stand by. No, I am not making this up.
Intervention. We have the white mana for it, so we can kill this before it gets another Teferi, but it's going to cost us some mana. Yeah, we're in trouble in this one. We just drew way too many land, but we still have a lot of good cards hidden in our deck. Yeah, I had a bad feeling about that.
I protect that which cannot protect itself.
Tank, tank, tank. Tank, tank, tank. Play a Nissa. Tank, tank, tank. Tank, tank, tank. Plus your Nissa.
That didn't go according to plan.
Alright, so we have to use the intervention. We can use it on the opponent's turn. Yep, of course the Sloth takes one for the team. The Flood is just too real here. We might as well do this now. The opponent might untap and have a veto up their sleeve. But this is where they probably play one of just about anything and win the game. And I've got my finger on the button. Top right, red button. Because things are just that bad. Good decision. Exile the only thing I have. Glad we came to that conclusion. I'd be disappointed if you didn't. I love that more people know how to use Granted in Best of One. And yeah, Veto's a good grab. Blitz, not enough. That was a horrible game, but does demonstrate what happens if the deck does miss a beat, ever. It's a very good hand. Let's play. Our opponent giving us the Lightning Bolt sleeve look. But if they're mono red, we've got pretty cool stuff with the Callous Dismissal, the Shock, the Lord Drakis. Should be most of the tools we need to compete with them. We'll Callous Dismiss whatever they play, then we'll Drakis get back the Dismissal. Or not. I guess in this case we play this tapped. And wait to shock something. Priest. Priest is a good dismissal target, so we will do that, and then we'll shock it the following turn. So don't you worry. I have a plan, sir. I want my 1/1. My 1/1 is what I use Drakis to get back with shock or dismissal with. Yep. What else you got? Bang. Alright, Dracus can get back Dismissal, or Dracus can get back Shock. Actually, we just get back both, right? We just get back both. And we save this, because right now playing either of these for free doesn't do us any good. We end up using a lot more red, blue than white. We end up wasting one activation because we could have got back another spell there. I'm a little nervous about Claim the Firstborn nonsense. And there it is. Did I go too hard? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Because I didn't get that much out of it all when all was said and done. Oh, Teferi. Nice. And we have a target that's decent. Something that has summoning sickness.
Let's try this.
I think I hang on to this because I might cycle it. No, we're not going to cycle it. Come on now. We'll draw plenty of cards. Will we? I don't know. I don't know, but next turn I can Callous Dismiss and Vadrok and cast Callous Dismissal again, so I think it's worth hanging on to. But I really don't want Teferi to die. Priest located. They ran that out. They must have a way to get it back or something. It can't be too bad to shock it. Like, what could they have to punish me for making that play? Now, there's a card we needed.
Oh,
This is a card we needed. Do I do it now or later? I can wait and see what the opponent plays before making the decision. Whether I Vadrok... Yeah, probably Vadrok next turn after using See the Truth, whatever we find, and Dismissal. Cat. Annoying. We have a few ways to gain life. We could find a Light of Hope. We could find a Heliod's Intervention. Village Rites. We could definitely find a Veto here. That would feel pretty good. Instead, it's the Intervention, the Blitz, the Island. The Intervention's very good against the Oven, or if they're trying to kill us. Getting it into circulation's good, but the Exile effect is really good too. I'm gonna grab the Intervention. One of the sneaky ways that they can win the game is definitely through Witch's Oven. And this can either gain a ton of life or just keep the Oven from happening. There's the Footlight Fiend. Let's Callous Dismiss it, because then next turn we can Vadrok onto the creature. Plating is a great draw.
I'll protect you.
Now, even though it costs 4 to mutate Vadrok, it's still a 3-cost creature, so it can be claimed. Don't forget about Claim the Firstborn when playing any creatures of this size. And Lazatev Plating is one of our best weapons against it. That's a lot of mountains. I know the deck usually likes black mana a lot more. Hexproof. Cards you ain't never seen before, I bet. Dreadhorde. Sure. If they attack with it, I will trade, because you can't target one of my things with its ability right now. Call. Alright. Rebuilding, getting the band back together. See the Truth, we'll have to find an answer. It's awkward. I really want another Lazatev Plating. I also really want another mutation. Shock right off the top. Yes. So we'll definitely take you out. Trying to think of how we're going to deal with these two, and I guess Raise the Alarm can jump in front. And we can wait on See the Truth until we know more about what our opponent's up to. That said, I could hit a Dracus off this. Maybe I'm just supposed to do it now. Yeah, there's the potential for a much better turn. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Did that really just happen? Alright, so read these carefully. Whenever this creature mutates, return an instant or sorcery. We're going to return the cheap one. Then cast something without paying its cost. We're going to cast this. Nice. Shock away the priest. Shock in another land. Unguard. We do have to work on getting them dead. But we don't have a plating. And we could have put a plating back in our hand instead of the shock. Maybe that would have been right. I think we're okay though. Footlight Fiend. Kitten. Meow. We have total Get and Sketch, but we have a big reload on that front. Let's raise the alarm. Block away some of the opponent's stuff. If we do block this Butcher, though, they're just going to target this. I guess that's fine. Get rid of the cat. Another land. Alright, so what are we casting for free? We're casting See the Truth and See the Truth and getting plating into our hand. You gotta pay close attention. Gotta pay close attention to these triggers. So, whenever this creature mutates, return. That's plating. Whenever this creature mutates, you may cast. That's See the Truth. And you may cast. That's See the Truth. Draw 3. Draw 3. Plating on deck. We'll keep plussing Teferi. We will attack, try to get him dead. We have a million cards in our hand. Let's play a Light of the Hope now. Light of the Hope. That's going to make somebody angry. It's always somebody angry in comments. And gain 4. And drop you off. Oh yeah. We got this. Opponent draws land after we just drew 6. That is a rip. I mean, yeah. I guess we'll opt, see if we draw another plating. We could ambush this. And we will. You have to damage yourself. How does it feel? Oh, it feels good. Thank you for asking. Alright, can I finish the opponent? There's 2 shocks down here, so I'm pretty sure I can just bounce this and get them back.
I've got it.
Lord Rackus. Mutate. Cast a shock. Return a shock. And that's game. Yeah, I'm not sure if Light of Hope will be good here, but when you have Teferi, Vadrok, and Plating, and the mana for all, you just keep it. and we'll see what the opponent is up to. This is one of those flexi cards. We just don't know. Mono red. I have identified my nemesis. Let's shock and play the opt, but we also have a plating available. And we'll see what happens. This is probably just gaining 4 life. Robber of the Rich, huh? And you have 5 cards in hand? I guess we can gain 4 life. Let's see what we find with the opt. Perfect. Perfect. My god, did I need that. Callous Dismissal. That can set us up for a Vadrok next turn if we draw the land. Bouncing Fervent Champion isn't exactly my idea of awesome, though. We could just hold Plating. Ooh, we can play Plating and put a +1/+1 counter on it with Light of Hope after blocking the opponent's Fervent Champion, potentially. But we might want that Light of Hope. I guess if the opponent does play a Annex, we can get the Light of Hope back with the Vadrok after we Callous Dismiss it. This is a tough one. Thank you for your patience as I try to figure out how to play Magic here. Steams. Steams gets Callous Dismissed for sure. Alright, so first things first, Lazotep Plating. This gives everything we has hexproof. The opponent can still have a Rimrock Knight here, which would be RIP, but we're going for the high upside play. The opponent's trying to shock it. It has hexproof. It has hexproof. That doesn't work. It doesn't work, Red Mage. RIP. Unfortunately, they will still get to shock on our turn, I think. Alright. Ooh. Well, now if they go for the shock, we played again. I guess we can go for this dismissal. Because if they shock this in response to the dismissal, maybe we attack. Let's attack first. Let's see what happens. We're trying to get them to play the shock. Okay, they will not. We could play the Teferi and bounce the Steamkin. I think this is going to get shocked no matter what I do, but there's a chance it isn't. Like, maybe we Callous Dismiss this, they forget to shock in response, and we have a 3/3. Nah, let's just do the Teferi. They might decide to hold shock for Teferi, rather than for the 2/2. Excellent.
You'll thank me later. That's more like it.
And we hit the land. Okay, this is going really... This is going well. This is going well. I do think they have a shock, because if it were a Rimrock Knight, they would have used it. So, they're probably going to shock... They're probably going to play Steamkin, shock Teferi, and then we can play Vadrok, shock the Steamkin. Oh, hold me. It's too beautiful. Actually, we get... No, we get the Teferi back. I keep on forgetting this is even an option. But it is. It's a spell, not an instant or sorcery. Oh, yes. The greatest and the best. I shouldn't have played my land. I kind of cost myself a land drop here, but hopefully that doesn't bite me. I definitely got too excited and should have held this mountain until the end of figuring out what was going on. No regrets on attacking, though. We definitely need to get the opponent dead. Like, that is priority. Let's see what See the Truth finds. What's the truth? The truth is Callous Dismissal. Legit. I'm going to play the land, I'm going to attack with the Vadrok, and we're going to hold up the plating. A few Callous Dismissals next turn will put us pretty far ahead. The opponent can't rob us, they have too many cards in their hand. Torbran. Okay, that's a good Callous Dismissal target. I have lethal. Alright, so we play the plating, we don't block. We use Callous Dismissal on the Torbran. Finale's just a nice way to rub it in. We use Callous Dismissal on the Robber. That's 3, that's 8, that's game. Can I one time, YouTube, I've made over 500 videos in a row for you. One time, can I get found lethal in chat instead of missed lethal? Can I get a little bit of found lethal one time? Please. And we are back for the post-game wrap-up, and this was a really fun run with some very difficult games, fun to navigate, lots of options. Just, it's the kind of Magic I love to play. So I had a blast making this particular video, and I wouldn't change a thing. I'm open to suggestions for the deck, but I really like the configuration right now. I think it's in a sweet spot. I do want the 4th Vadrok. I just don't want to spend the Mythic on it, just to be real with you. I do not want to spend the Mythic on it. I'm sure some of you can relate, but if you happen to have some Vadroks lying around, this deck is a blast. So we're going to keep it there. I don't have any changes to recommend. It is competitive, and people don't really understand how to play against it, so you get edge from really mastering it a bit. So with that, just a quick reminder one more time to the Cool Kids Club, renewing your Twitch Prime sub, now is a good time to do it, as I discussed more in the intro. So head on over to Twitch. There's a link in every description. Hit the renew on the Twitch Prime sub, and I really appreciate it. So thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.